may be over, but there's still plenty to argue about. I'm Britt Taylor, he's Wayne Hawkes. Wayne, Imperatriz should head to Royal Ascot, bet or forget?
Bet. How good would it be to see the new superstar of Australian racing take on the world?
I love that we've claimed her as our own. She's
Absolutely.
New Zealand, but we'll
She's
call
not
her
a Kiwi,
Australian
she's
now.
an Aussie.
We can agree on that. Hey, I think forget Royal Ascot. What about Ascot? $5 million Quokka slot race. Trackside New Zealand now have the slot just announced. They'll get a deal done in favour of Imperatriz and come win over 1,200 metres here in Perth.
That is a Quokka Brit. That's what I'm going to say.
Imagine. Think about it, Wayne. She takes on Amelia's jewel. It would be some kind of spectacle.
Oh, I could go and win a race in front of the king, or I could go and win a quack. No. If Winks had have gone overseas, that would have been the cherry on top. The great horses travel and get the job done. So you know what? Let Imperatriz go and do what she's done.
I don't agree. I don't think that Winks's career, it would not add anything in the way that we reflect on Winks's career had she gone overseas. But particularly with the sprinters in the case of Imperatriz, we have the best sprinters in the world here. She's taking on the best
but
already.
Then show the world what we've got down under.
We can, but you go over and you're racing for very average prize money in comparison to what's on offer in Australia.
You're going there for the CV of the Group 1s. That's great pub talk. And I think we're going to be talking about that one for a fair while. But what about this for an idea, Britt? Fans should be reinstated as selectors of the All-Star Mile. Bet or forget?
Ooh, bet in the newly revamped All-Star Mile, which sees win and you're in races rather than 10 slots be decided by a public vote, I still think there's room for the public to vote on this race. I think...
Don't you want the best horse, though?
Yeah, for sure. And that's what we'll get.
This is not giving you the best horse, Britt.
No, but it will, because we've got the win and you're in races, but the fan engagement when we're trying to grow the sport, I think is so important.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. They're just going to get all their mates. They're going to get all their mates just to click on a button. Does that help us?
Yes,
really?
It does, because it raises the awareness and the public profile of the race, and it heroes the horse. It allows individual groups of connections to put together their own marketing strategy around an individual horse. That's connecting fans with the animal, which I think is the bottom line of what we try to do in racing, to grow the sport. All right, Wayne, one more. Local jockeys should be favoured over international riders. Bet or forget?
Bet. I knew you couldn't help yourself but had to throw my old mate Joe and old man Spencer into the equation. I've heard
I
about
never
it all
mentioned
week.
any names.
You don't have to. I knew where you were going. Everyone's told me about Joe all week. He's a superstar. You don't get the nickname Magic Man if you're magically no good. I get it. But you know what? They can't be in tune because they're not riding here every week, riding against the same guys every week. It's no advantage, I say.
But is this just recency bias given we haven't seen flattering results for the international jocks over Cup Week?
Frankie boy, can I just give one name that's better than Joe and Jamie Spencer? Frankie Dettori.
Okay,
His
what about
form has
Opie
been
Bosson?
Naught fell pulled up.
What about Opie and his affiliation with Imperatriz? Sometimes knowing the horse,
we're claiming Opie.
And all
He's
of
an
their
Aussie.
quirks,
He's an Aussie.
He's not riding here week in, week out. So you can't make that argument that it's like, oh, well, he knows the landscape and everything like that. He rides in New Zealand and he's come over and he knows that mare better than anyone. So he's the best person for the job. I just don't think we can tar all the internationals with the same brush, because sometimes their connection with the horse is going to be very, very beneficial. And hey, didn't you use Tommy Berry to ride Chautauqua in Hong Kong?
Glad you brought that up.
Why didn't you use one of the local riders?
Well, the thing is that Tommy Berry had spent a lot of time in Hong Kong, so he knew Hong Kong. So the Opie Bossom argument is about the same. Joe Moreira, the Jamie Spencers of the world, the Frankie Dettoris, they blow in, blow out. It's as simple as that. Stick with the local boys, give them the support. They know where they're going.
Local boys, you know there's plenty of good girls in that jockey's room too.
Just ask Michelle Payne, she won a Melbourne Cup.
Sure did. That has been Bet or Forget. We'll do it all again next week, Wayne. Bye.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website